Hey, it's Emily in Alaska. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have some exciting packages to open for the trailer. We're gonna unbox and install them today. WaySafe hitches are super cool. They're the only hitches on the planet with a scale in them. One thing we haven't mentioned is that we're towing this trailer with a Ford Explorer, and we're able to do that because this stealth trailer is really light. It weighs about 1,900 pounds empty, so we're well within our tow capacity empty, but while we build it out, we want to make sure that we're towing this as safely as possible. We're going to install this WaySafe hitch and a couple other products that go along with it. Okay, the first item we got is the flapjack. This is basically a stand you can use to help stabilize your trailer.
Oh, it's magnetic too.
This is what it looks like put together, but it folds down like you just saw into a really compact piece of equipment. It says it holds up to 6,000 pounds, so this will become super handy in stabilizing the trailer. The next item is a shoe scraper. Kind of one of those things that you don't think about when it comes to campers or trailers, but this is literally what it sounds like. It's to just scrape off your shoes before you go inside to keep all the dirt and mud out. So these are going to be great for all kinds of camping, especially here in Alaska where a lot of our camping is off the grid and totally unlevel, undeveloped areas. So these will help keep our wheels nice and stable. So it comes with this little grippy mat. That would go down first, and then say your back tire is flat on the ground but your front tire isn't. These kind of go in and cradle it. Alright, the sun was killing me, so we're back with some sunglasses now with the next box. This box weighed over 100 pounds when it was delivered, so this is the heavy duty stuff. Okay, so we went with the True Toe Middleweight weight distribution hitch. That is heavy duty. So this says the middleweight without distribution has a 12,500 pound weight capacity, which is well within our means. These are the spring arms. So we went with the spring weights with a max trailer weight of 8,500 pounds, but you can go up to 12,500 pounds. This whole big box was just for this one part. This is the hitch lock. So I got the little keys and lock. Alright, this is the main piece. This is what we're here for. This is the hitch itself. Super heavy duty, really awesome quality. It looks like they have QR codes for installation videos. That's super helpful. It says on the gauge, this gauge is filled with glycerin to help improve the durability, longevity, and functionality of the gauge. We're really excited to get this installed and hooked up, and I think this is really going to improve our towing experience. This is what's going to allow us to tow this trailer of this size with a medium-sized SUV safely. Alright, I'm going to voice over and walk through this step by step so you know what we're doing as we set up this WaySafe. The first step is to park your trailer and tow vehicle on flat level ground, so we're pulling it out onto the driveway, and we're putting in wheel chocks and setting it up on our flapjack stabilizer. Steady, we're gonna pull the vehicle away from the trailer about 4 feet. This is gonna give us the perfect amount of room to install a hitch on both the trailer and the vehicle. Level the trailer to be parallel to the ground, so I'm gonna go from the front to the back measuring to make sure I'm getting it even on both sides. This took a couple of tries. I had to go back and forth to get it just right, but this is really important to make sure everything is nice and flat and level. The top of the toe ball on the head assembly should be some distance above this measurement, and that distance will depend on what the tongue weight of the trailer is and what kind of suspension is on your tow vehicle. A good rule of thumb is to set the toe ball about 1/8 inch higher for every 100 pounds of tongue weight. We're good and level, so it's time to install the hitch itself. First, you're going to install the drawbar, and we did this all together because we already knew which position we needed it in. But depending on what the height of the trailer coupler is, the drawbar may need to be in the rise or drop position, and we knew we were going to be in the drop position for our trailer height. Now we're going to install this with a locking hitch pin just for some added security. Now there's a WaySafe True Tow app that is super helpful with setting up your trailer every single time. In the app, you can input both your drawbar position, rise or drop, and how many empty holes are visible above the top of the head assembly on the drawbar. So you can save that into your app for future reference. Here I'm just showing you some changes that we had to make. We had to move this electrical box off the side of the arm onto the top so that we could fit the hitch on properly. Electrical wiring in the way of the brackets that we're about to put on right now. These brackets need to be installed at the 32-inch mark from the tow ball. This will put the least amount of stress on the trailer and hitch, giving you the safest towing experience. The further back the trailer brackets are, the less stress on your tow vehicle, hitch, and trailer. Now to install the trailer brackets, we're going to use these carriage bolts and put these through the top hole in the outside C channel bracket, aligning it with the top hole of the inside flat bracket. You would then slip the brackets over the trailer frame, but because we have this little electrical box to go through, we're kind of just sliding it in instead of going over. The second carriage bolt needs to go in the highest open hole in the outside C channel bracket underneath the trailer frame, and there should not be a gap between the top and bottom carriage bolts and the trailer frame. When tightening these nuts, be sure to alternate between the top and bottom nuts to avoid over-tightening one over the other. Tightening one could cause damage to the brackets. The same exact thing to the other side. Again, be sure to tighten both the top and bottom brackets alternatively to make sure you're not damaging your brackets. The next step is to set up the height of the spring arm platforms. You want the spring arm platform to be as close to 9 inches below the top of the trailer coupler as you can get it. This will give you the smoothest tow if it's as horizontal as possible. It out to 9 inches, you're going to insert 2 carriage bolts to secure to the trailer, and then do the same thing on the other side. Now while I'm doing this, I'm going to talk about the distributed tongue weight, because this is super important for this exact hitch that we're using. The cool thing about the WaySafe True Tow weight distribution hitch is that it provides you with the ability to measure tongue weight. It can also calculate how much the spring arms need to be loaded in order to provide a truly distributed towing system, and we're going to install the spring arms next. The loaded spring arms reflect an added amount of force between the ball and coupler, which increases the readout on the WaySafe gauge, not adding tongue weight to your vehicle. That new weight is called the distributed tongue weight. This is where that app I mentioned comes in handy, and you really do need it for setting up this hitch because it's going to accurately calculate that correct DTW or distributed tongue weight to set up your system appropriately. Now we've already done the measurements and we know what our distributed tongue weight is, so we can install the spring arms. You're first going to connect the arms to the hitch itself before we connect the hitch to the trailer. Really easy to install the spring arms. You're just inserting them into the spring arm sockets and securing it with a clevis pin. Now that we have the vehicle connected to the trailer, we can use this trailer tongue jack to lift the spring arms onto the trailer brackets. Then there's an L finger to secure it to the bracket itself. Once you have the spring arms attached, you're done. You just need to get within your distributed tongue weight safe zone. Once you have the spring arms attached, you're done. It's set up. You just need to get within your distributed tongue weight safe zone, and you can do so with the lead screw on the top of the hitch. Ours is already set up how we need it, but you can turn it and it can either increase or decrease the distributed tongue weight for your vehicle itself. And that's it. It's really that simple. I'm thoroughly surprised by how easy this was to install and very impressed. It was pretty daunting because it seems like such a complex system, and it is, but WaySafe really sets it up so that you are able to achieve installation smoothly. Now I'm going to show you what this looks like while loading up our trailer. It's important to make sure that your weight is fully distributed throughout the trailer. For us, that meant putting the six-wheeler right in the middle of the trailer and then turning the lead screw to get it right where we needed it. You'll see that the app tells us about 1550 is where we need to be, so we stopped at 1500. Can't wait to see how this improves our towing experience on the road. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to check out WaySafe.